Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this particular video. Doing this video as a follow-up video regarding my last video around overview of the Microsoft 365 portal, and from there we'll actually jump into the admin center. So in the last video, I we went to look at different site regarding the Microsoft 365 portal. Whenever you sign into office.com, once you sign in and you're able to see the portal as shown in this video. So we look at the home, the copilot, the create, the OneDrive, the feed. So we look at different part of this administration. However, there are few places that I didn't actually show us. So I want to actually show that to us today before we jump into the Microsoft 365 admin center itself. So there's this button here that says install and more. So if you have a subscriptions that have apps for business or the Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise, you actually have the opportunity or options to actually install the Microsoft 365 apps. So once you click on this install and more, you have the option to select install Microsoft 365 apps. So that I will actually install locally on your PC. I currently have that installed, so I'm not going to do that. Then I actually have a video on how to actually do this. Basically, if you check my YouTube channel, I'm going to drop the link in the description of this video. Then you can also access your favorite app here on the web. So accessing your favorite app basically will take you to the app tiles here, so whereby you'll be able to see all the apps that you have. We actually look at this the last time. So let me go back to the home again, and then another option that is available for us here is to install Microsoft 365 mobile apps. So if you click on this, actually takes you to how you can scan code, whether you are using an iPhone, iOS, or Android, right? So you'll be able to actually scan this code. So if you're having trouble with this QR code, you can always click here to actually install the apps directly from your app store. It could be from the Android Play Store or the iOS store for the Apple devices. Yeah, so again, if you go back to this install, if you click on this install, what is going to happen is that it's going to actually take you to the backstage of our applications, where you have your apps and devices, right? Just click on, depending on the country, you can select the language here and the version that you want, 64 bits or 32 bits. Then just click on install, right? And this will actually, just all you need to do is just to relax, and the office applications will be downloaded and it will be installed for you automatically. And what you'll be getting is actually the latest one. So I'm not going to do that in this video because I have a different video in which I've done this before. So that's one features I wanted to show us in the Microsoft 365 portal before we go into the admin. Then the other part is that if you scroll down here, right, you have quick access. Quick access talking about, so if you have accessed any document in the past, be it a Microsoft Word, a PowerPoint document, Excel document, or even you watch a video on the Microsoft stream, so everything will be actually be showing here. So these are all the files or documents that I currently have. Then if they are the ones that you recently opened, if you click on this recently opened here, so this is going to actually filter them by the document that you actually opened recently. Then if the document that you share with someone or with people, or document that's been shared, this document will actually show under the share document. So these are documents that you share with somebody in the Teams chat, or somebody has shared this document. You can see that this is a Jenny sent this. You can see that this person sent it, or I shared this on the Teams chat, and like that. Then if there are some documents you favorite, for example, maybe you want to easily access such documents, you'll see them in this list. Let me go to this share document. Let me just favorite one of the documents here. So let's say I want to favorite I'm looking for one of my documents. Let me go to all here. Okay, this one I want to favorite it. I can just click on this three ellipses here, then I will see favorite here. So this particular document, because I've favorited it, if I go to favorite here, it's going to actually show for me because the document has been added to favorite. So that's what we have under the quick access. Now we have this upload button here. If you click on this upload button, this will take us into your personal OneDrive, right? So the OneDrive account of this user that is currently signing. If you click on the upload, it's going to actually take us into, okay, it's going to actually take, so that's the account. So if I want to upload a particular document into this, right, it's going to actually take me there. Let me scroll down a bit. Maybe there are other things that I can show. Okay, let me go back to all here. Click on upload again. So you see the document I wanted to upload from my PC, right, into my OneDrive. So it gives me this dialog box, right? So all I just need to do is just to either I navigate to where the location of the document is. Let's say the document is in my is in my download folder, for example. I will just go there, select the document, right? Then I will upload document, and the document will actually go into my OneDrive, right? So it's either it goes, if I go to my OneDrive here again, so it's going to, the document will actually be uploaded in my OneDrive here. So it's just is similar to saying add new year. That upload is similar to saying add new year. And this would give me the options to add maybe a folder, a file, or folder upload, Word, Excel workbook, or PowerPoint presentation, etc. Let me go back to home. If there is another thing I'm missing, I wanted to see. Right, so I think that's everything around the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and we have the CO button here. If you click on this CO will take us to our OneDrive, right, where we have before. So if you want to see all your documents that you have, all your files that you have, you'll be able to see them on the CO. So in the future, I'm going to actually do a video on OneDrive, right, OneDrive for Business, and once I do that video, I will let us know. But in this particular video, the focus is not on OneDrive for Business. Now, going into our Microsoft 365 administration itself. So this is just like the overview of the Microsoft 365 portal itself. Microsoft 365 portal is different from the Microsoft 365 admin center. They are two different things. So how do I access the Microsoft 365 admin center? So there are different ways you can actually access the Microsoft 365 admin center. So either from this portal here, just click on the app launcher here. On the app launcher, you will see the admin tiles listed here. So if this user is an admin, you're going to see the admin tiles. Let me refresh this. I don't know why this is not showing for me. Okay, so it's loading up, right? So if I click on the app launcher again, as you see the admin tiles show for me. Okay, it's still loading up. So why this is loading up? So one way I can access is this admin tiles here. So it was the same admin tiles I was looking at. Once you click on this admin, this is going to take us to the Microsoft 365 admin portal. This is actually where we do all the backend administration. Let me go back to the Microsoft 365 portal itself, not the admin center. Let me see. I wanted to see why I'm not seeing the admin tiles here. I'm actually supposed to see the admin tiles, so except there's an issue, and this app launcher, the admin tiles is not part of the app launcher. Okay. All right, so when you open the app launcher, you see this admin tab. So it's the same admin. If you click on this or the other one that we accessed earlier, the same admin here. So in case it's not showing for us here, so a way to get through it is through the going to the app launcher, and you're going to see the admin tabs. Another way you can access this is actually by typing admin.microsoft.com. When you type admin.microsoft.com, it's going to actually take you into the Microsoft 365 admin center that we have here. So let's quickly look at the overview of the Microsoft 365. So when you're going into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center for the first time, what you're going to see is something that looks like this. And again, depending on your admin rights, right? If you're a global admin, then you'll be able to see everything. If you're not a global admin, maybe you have a different admin right. Maybe you are just an exchange online administrator, what you're going to see will be related to just the Exchange Online Admin Center with the necessary one that you need. That's talking about the security and the private portal, but you're not going to see everything around all the other admin center. What do I mean by that? If you click on show all, yeah, so show all will actually show every of the blades that are available. So because I'm a global administrator, right, I'm able to see every other admin centers here. If I'm probably just a SharePoint administrator, under here, maybe I'll just hit security, compliance, and SharePoint. So long because security and compliance is actually very important for every of our services and our workload. So you see those admin centers there, but the only one you see is probably just the SharePoint after the security and compliance. You're not going to see every other thing here. So in the admin center, again, child, because Microsoft is trying to make it easy for you to be able to access any of the applications or any of the services that are part of your subscriptions. So the app launcher will be there. Now, if I go back to the Microsoft 365 portal, if I click on this, if you notice for this, we don't have anything here. But in the admin center here, so it tells us Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So I'm able to know that this is the current admin center that I'm currently on. The reason why we're not seeing it from the other side is because that place, the other part here, is not actually the admin center. It's just the Microsoft 365 portal. And Microsoft is actually, they try to make it consistent, right? If I go into any of the admin centers here, so if let's say I go into the SharePoint Admin Center, for example, now I'm going to see it there written that SharePoint Admin Center. So it's trying to actually be consistent to ensure that if you're in a particular admin center, you know which of the admin center that you are currently on. Like for example, now I just navigated to the SharePoint Admin Center, so I'm able to see that this is SharePoint Admin Center. So in case I'm not sure where I was, or just looking at the upper left corner here, I'll be able to see, okay, I'm currently in the SharePoint Admin Center. And the same thing goes for every other admin centers that we have. But for this video, the purpose is just to give us an overview of what the Microsoft 365 admin center is all about. So on the upper left dimension, the app launcher is still there. And the next thing you see is the name of the, if you're currently in a particular admin center, you see the name of the admin center here, then the search also. So anything you want to try to do within this admin center, you don't know how to do it. Let's say I want to check my bill, I don't know how to go about it, right? I want to check my billing. So this is going to show me things that are related to billing, right? So there's a user called billing administrator in this tenant, right? And there's a navigation. Maybe I want to go into my billing account or billing notifications, right? So I have the navigation here. Then the rows that is pertaining to what I'm looking for, billing administrator. So I have the billing administrator showing here for me. Then if there are other setup that I can do that are pertaining to billing, right? Once billing is mentioned, so it shows me under the setup, right? And this is just a feedback to rate Microsoft about the search experience here. So let me use another one. Let me say I want to actually look for mailboxes. I don't know how to navigate to mailboxes. Yeah, so because I'm currently in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, shared mailboxes available for me here. So ordinarily, I won't say mailboxes here because mailboxes is I'm supposed to actually see them in the Exchange Admin Center. So anything that is available within this Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and I can't remember where it is located, I can just simply use to actually search for that particular thing, right? Now, the next thing here, talk about the cloud share. So what is a cloud share? So cloud share is actually closely related to our Windows PowerShell that is actually installed locally. So if you go to your search bar, right, and search for Windows PowerShell, just right click on the start button, you should see the Windows PowerShell. Okay, I only have the terminal here. Oh, okay, probably Windows 11 is different. Let me search for Windows PowerShell. like PowerShell. So it's going to give you the PowerShell IAC, that's integrated environment, and also the ordinary one here. So Windows PowerShell is actually closely related to the Azure Cloud Share is actually what can actually enable you to actually interact with your cloud services, and it's actually divided into two: the batch for Linux systems or Unix system generally, while the partial for Windows. So if you want to do, maybe you want to manage a Windows servers on Azure, for example, use a PowerShell, then the batch for your Linux system. So this is how it looks like. So depending on what you want to connect to, right? And you can change share at any time via the environment selectors in the cloud share toolbar. And the most recently used environment will be the default for your next session. So let's say to PowerShell, for example, right? So it's going to tell me like getting started, select a subscription to get started. So this is actually speaking to Azure, right? So on Azure, if you don't have an Azure subscriptions, you will not be able to use the Azure Cloud Share. But because I currently have two subscriptions in Azure, that this users actually have access to two subscriptions, right? So I can select any of the subscriptions. If I select any of the subscriptions, right, and I can select okay, no storage required, mount to storage account. So depending on my use case, so this is talking more to Azure portal, right? But because I'm not currently discussing Azure, so I just wanted you to know that that is actually what that is for there. So let me close this. I'm closing that. So the next thing we have here is actually speaking to the Microsoft 365 app. So Microsoft launches on Android and iOS devices. You can actually download the Microsoft, right? But it has limited functionalities, or you'll be able to do a couple of things around checking service health, right? So when you download the Microsoft 365 apps, right, you'll be able to, do some of the admin tasks, right? But not everything. It has a limited functionality. So you can just scan this QR code, or you just go into your Apple Store or your Google Play, right, to download it depending on the platform, depending on the type of phone that you are currently using. So that is Microsoft 365 apps. So once you're done, you just click on done here and move on. Now the next one here speaks to notifications. So if there are notifications that requires your attention as an administrator, right? Those notifications will be shown here for you, right? Maybe there are alerts or anything that you need to take notes, you need to pay attention to. That will actually show that to you. Now the next is clock settings. I believe this is familiar. So it's the same. We discussed extensively about these settings in the last video that I did about changing your themes, then changing your language or your time zones, then changing your location, right? So basically, if I click on any of these, it's still going to take me to that last video, like what I showed us in the last video about the backstage of our account. So we have more details about the users that is currently signing into the portal, right? So that's actually where that it takes us to. It's taking longer to open right now. Just want to show that it's actually the same thing basically. Yeah, so we've seen all these ones in our last videos where we're able to go through the overview, the security info, devices, how to reset password, signings, user signings, and all that. So we've gone through this in the last class. So let's go back to our admin center again. So after that we have the question mark, which I explained to us that this is how you raise support. You want to contact there's an issue, there's something that is going on, or you need Microsoft support generally to be able to create support request here. And you can also check your support history if you've created a support in the past. So I mentioned in the last slide, either you use this question mark here, or you use this help and support button here, or you come to this part of this blade and click on the support, where you see the option to also use the help and support here, video service request and the likes. We'll look at all this in more details. Then again, you see your account manager here. So we've looked at this also in the last class. So the same thing across all the admin center. You always see the manager here, where you can manage your accounts, you can view your profile, and you can even sign in with a different account. So that is actually what is available for us there regarding the upper part of the admin center. Now, if you come down the bit, we're going to see uh, what says dashboard view. Right now, we have two views. You can either have the dashboard view. Dashboard view is currently the view that we have, right, where we're able to see everything around your third-party apps that are available to deploy based on recommendations, right? We are also able to see that there are some things you can do. So these are basically cards, right? So card on Microsoft Teams. If you click on this ellipsis here, you have the option to actually remove the card if you don't want to see anything that pertaining to the card on your dashboard, or you can move the control. You can move it up, down, left, or right. That is available for us here. So for this actually deals with some settings that are regarding Teams. So instead of going into the main center or going into the settings and looking for some settings, or if you click on manage Teams, for example, now this card will actually take us to a particular, it's open a right pane for us here. So this is what called right pane here. So some other settings that you can configure from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center directly instead of going into the Microsoft Teams. So there are some settings you can actually configure under our settings. In our discussion, we'll discuss settings. I'm going to actually show us that more in more details where we look at the org settings here. I will show us that in more details. Let me go back to the home. Right. So there are different cards available here. Microsoft Teams card, user management card, billing card. So if you want to look at things around your billing, you have the billing card that is available for you here. Then things around service else. So if there are service incidents currently on your tenants, right, and you would like to review, just have an, so this particular card is going to show us that. Then if there are some training guides or assistance for you as an administrator in your tenant, you want to get updates on some trainings, or you want to have see some trainings for your end users. Maybe you are driving training and adoption in your organizations. You have this training for users here that are available for you. So this will just take it to either some Microsoft tutorials and some videos, right, that are available for you as an admin. So this is actually taking me outside M365 to YouTube, where some videos are available for me as an admin. So if I want to just keep up to date with the latest information that Microsoft is dropping regarding Microsoft 365 administration, so that will actually take me to a particular YouTube channel. I don't know why it's taking long to open, but let me go back. Okay, right. So it's open a channel that says Microsoft 365 Health. I think I saw that right now. So Microsoft 365 for small businesses. So this channel has a ton of, it has over 190 videos, right? That can actually, choosing the right Microsoft 365 subscription for your business is key to getting them things that you would do on a day-to-day basis, and they keep on updating the videos. If you go to videos here, you will see all the videos that are available for us, and there are still videos as of 2 weeks ago, as of a month ago, right, depending on what you want to learn as an admin, or what you want to show your users on how to use. So that's particular resource is actually there for you. Then training for users here as well. So this is taking us to Microsoft support page. So Microsoft has a support page where they can is called Microsoft 365 training. So training on any of the services or the applications are available for us here. Outlook, OneDrive, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint, and Teams. So if you go down here, you'll be able to see a lot of training cheat, cheat sheets here is available for you. Quick start for small businesses, for admins and IT professionals. Then modern workplace training also. If you want to learn about, so their training opportunities are available for the users can actually learn. Then the message center. So if there are new informations, right? There are updates from Microsoft share them with this message center. We're still going to look at that by the time we look at each of the blades on the left hand side. So everything on the left hand side here, we'll call them blades. But so let's change this view to else view. Now, the moment we change that view to else view here, this view is basically going to take us to a view to see our health. I'll talk about health. So it's the same blade here, service health. All right. So yeah, maybe as an admin, you want to be sure that your tenant is healthy. There is no incident from Microsoft that is currently affecting your tenants, right? So with this health view, you'll be able to see them. So once you sign in as an administrator, maybe at the beginning of your shift, at the beginning of work, you're able to, and you want this dashboard, you want to be sure that as you're coming in, the first thing you want to see in the admin center is to see the health of all the services, all the applications. So currently on my tenant here, everything is showing healthy. So I'm seeing that my Microsoft Teams is healthy, my OneDrive is healthy, SharePoint, Exchange Online, even Microsoft Forms is healthy, and I have the option to view all service health actually, even from this dashboard. Only that will take me inside the service health itself, where I can actually see every of the services, right, in more details. So it's telling me that there is no incident, only that we have two adversaries for M365 suites, and I'll be able to see this. This is not question today, just to give us an overview. So I'm going back to the home. Remember, we've toggled this from the dashboard to health. So either a dashboard view or a health view. Now, Microsoft is trying to say, okay, what are the things that admin usually do when they come into the organization? That's where we'll see how they use us. So you want to onboard the new users. Let's assume that your organization's tenant is actually cloud only. You don't have an on-prem Active Directory domain service, right? So admin will usually come here to create users. So instead of clicking on users, then active users, going inside there, this is one step, second steps, and top step, adding the user here. So you have it from this particular dashboard here. So going three steps, you have just one step, click on add a user, and this will take you to where you'll be able to add users, right? So it's easy for you, it's faster for you instead of going three steps. Just the same place where you want to add new users, new employee that just joined your organization. I'm going to cancel that because that's not a topic today. Just going overview again. Then again, maybe something has changed about the particular users. Maybe the user department has changed, or the user has just gotten promoted. Right, the user is going to a new role, and you need to edit something about the user. So let me just search for one random user here. Okay, let me select this user. So let's say this user was actually, I want to edit this user got promoted, or the user is changing role, for example now. So instead of going into the same step of saying users, active users, then looking for the users, selecting the users, let me show us that um instead of coming to users, then active users, then now searching for the users among all the list of all the users you have here. Maybe you have thousands of users here, then coming here to same user here, search, come here to search for that same user, the same user. Look at how many steps that you have to take, right, for to get to this particular point. But from the dashboard here, just from the home, just click on edit user, one step, and you just search for, you already know the users you want to edit. Just search for the user here, search, right, then now look for, select the user, then edit this user. So you're able to just from the dashboard too, instead of going to the users, active users, you can edit the users properties. Let's say you need to add user to, or you need to manage the user. So I did a video some months ago about user management. So I won't actually go into this right now because this video again is to just show us overview. These are some of the changes that Microsoft has recently introduced to the Microsoft Admin Center based on the feedback. So let's say I want to change contact information for the user, for example, or I want to change the user's apartment, the job title, something about the users. So just from the same dashboard, I'm able to do that. Then another thing that Microsoft added here is reset password. So especially an organization that don't have SSPR, enable for all the users. What is SSPR? That's self-service password reset, right? And that means that users, whenever they go on leave and they forgot their password, they are locked out of their account, they need to contact the help desk. right? That's for organization that don't have SSPR, enabled for the users. So this is also another feature that is good, that is useful for the help desk guy just from the admin center. Also, clicking on the reset password, the same thing, search for the user that you want to reset his or her password. Once you search for the users, okay, let's say this is the user, then select, and after selecting, you're able to reset the user's password here again. Then if there's a particular users that you need to upload, the users has left the organization, the users has resigned from the organization. So with the delete user option here, you can just the same thing, click on the delete user tab, then search for the user and it so let's say this is the user I want to delete. I just select the user. Once it's selected, I'll click on selected here, then I'll have the option to delete the user. User only has a Microsoft Fabric free, right, assigned, right? Because this user doesn't have OneDrive for business, or a plan that has OneDrive for business, right? So that's why this option is great out, because ideally, if the user has a OneDrive, it's always it's the best practice to give another user access to this particular user's OneDrive. Usually, the admin users to have access to the OneDrive, so that in case another user that wants to replace the user, you can easily assign the OneDrive to that particular users, and you just hit delete user here, and the user will be deleted from the admin center. So again, we have this more option, three ellipses. So I mentioned this the last video, dark mode. You don't like the way the admin center is currently showing white for you. You like the dark mode, right? To because of maybe you want to prevent your eyes, or you just like the dark mode. Let's change the mode from the light mode to the dark mode. So you can see that we have something that says what's new. So if there are things that are new, Microsoft has what we call Microsoft 365 roadmap. So if there are new features that Microsoft wants to introduce, right? You'll be able to go to the Microsoft roadmap. So let me click on the three ellipses again. No, this is still loading. Then select what's new. So what new should actually, take us outside this into a URL. What's new? So this will actually take us, okay, what are the new changes that Microsoft is introducing, into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and you're able to see. So from what I can see here, the last update to this article was in May 2023. So a lot of new things have not been added there, not been reported here. So this will basically take us to the documentation to see what are the new changes that Microsoft has implemented over time, more or less like a versioning system based on an update that Microsoft is doing. Then this is actually the name of the organization, the name of this tenant, right? So any name that you give into the organization, that will actually show you. If you click on this, this will take us to the organization's information. Be able to see the name of the organizations, the details about the organization. Notes this is grayed out, right? Why? Because when you set up a tenant in a particular region, so based on that, Microsoft is to determine where the data should resident, right? When we go into the settings, we're able to see, we're able to show us more details about that. Every other things can be changed apart from this country or the region that the tenant has been created. And the reason for that is that since the tenant is a Nigerian tenant, right? Any card, if I want to make any of my subscriptions, licenses in the tenant, I have to use a card that is actually from that region. So the card must be a Nigerian card. If it's not a Nigerian card, I will not be able to make payments for my subscriptions. So still on this overview, the last thing we have here is what we mentioned in last class. So this help and support will always be available for you to raise a support request. If you need support from Microsoft, you'll be able to raise a support request. Then the other one here talked about giving feedback to Microsoft based on your experience with the admin center, right? So you'll be able to give Microsoft feedback based on your experience. So if you feel that this experience looks great, you just give them big tell. Just tell them, put a verbatim here what you think they are doing well. Just for the if there's any improvement plan, maybe you're not okay, you can just select poor or terrible. Put the feedback here for Microsoft. So this product group, and they will be able to review and say, okay, what are some improvement options you're expecting. You can give a suggestion here, and if you want Microsoft to contact you about your feedbacks, you can also, select this option here. Then this one says include screenshot. So if there's anything that is not working where you would like to grab a screenshot, so you can just select include screenshot here, and you'll be able to include the screenshot basically. So this is a sample screenshot here, right, of what's this page I am currently. So I can actually, delete the screenshot of this particular page. All right, so let's come back to this our Blade session here. So the Blade session for the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, right, has the home page which we are currently on, and which, remember, we'll toggle this from dashboard to health. So let's say I want to see my dashboard view. I can take it back to the dashboard view. So this will actually bring up all my on my cards that I have based on things that I want to manage. Then the next one here is actually users. So under users tab, you're managing users. You're able to see all your active users. You're able to see your contacts, even your guest users as well, even though that would redirect you to the Microsoft Entra ID portal, and you also be able to see your deleted users. This is just an overview. I will actually go into them. Then under teams and group, right, you're able to see your active teams and groups. So there are some policies based on for the groups, right? Deleted book groups, and as well as share mailbox. You'll see them under teams and groups. So anything you want to manage things around groups, want to manage share mailboxes, want to manage policies, you'll be able to do that under teams and groups. Then we have the role here. So for role, we have role assignment, so an administrative unit. We'll actually dive deep into what is role assignment, what is an administrative unit. We have resources here. Resources talking about rooms and equipment and sites, right? Those are available under resources. Then under billing, so this is where we manage anything that has to do with payments, subscriptions, licenses. So you see purchase services, your product licenses, bills and payments. I've actually done a video on my in the past around Microsoft billing, but I've seen an update here talking about cost management. So probably I'm going to actually update that video around cost management basically. Then this is actually a new tab that was introduced, which is Copilot. So if you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot or Copilot for Microsoft 365, you will see this tab and you'll be able to actually, go into this. Yeah, so if you click on the Copilot, so basically for this, you'll be able to see, interact, this is where you actually manage Copilot licensing. So if you have Copilot license in your organization, so you'll be able to see, okay, for my Copilot, how is the adoption like? So you'll be able to see the adoption. So I can see that users, like 6 users are actually assigned Copilot, enable for Copilot, and out of them, well, this should be wrong anyway because I only have 5 licenses. So I have 25 licenses for Copilot. Okay, that's correct. Then two of the users are using any of the apps, PowerPoint. So for you as an admin, you'll be able to see the adoption right under that. We'll go deep into that. Then we have support. So, like I mentioned earlier, where you raise support request, you want to view a service request, then you want to configure customer lockbox requests. We'll do that in a future video where we'll be able to explain that. Then you want to contact Microsoft Surface support. So maybe you have a Microsoft Surface device and you need a support. That is actually where you raise a support request for them. Now, settings. So settings is where we manage and on the domains, right? In the domain, maybe you by default when you create the tenant, right? Microsoft is going to basically give you a dot on Microsoft domain, right? That domain is what Microsoft used to manage, right? All your billings, your subscriptions, or that's what you can actually use at the start. Let's say your organization, you've not purchased your own custom domain. Then with the domain, you can actually purchase a custom domain from any of the domain registrar like the GoDaddy, right? And the likes. So once you purchase those domain, from there you can come to Microsoft 365 and add those domains and verify the domains. I've done a video on this in the past, but I'll still do another video just to show us that in this series. Then you have the search and intelligence, you have the org settings, the Microsoft 365 backup is just a new feature that Microsoft have introduced for backup services. We'll look into that. Then we have the integrated apps, the Viva partner relation, and Azure Microsoft Edge. If you come down, so we have setups. So setup basically speaks to things around things that you can set up for your tenants, based on suggestions. So Microsoft will do some recommendations for you. Say limited, you have different recommendations here. So again, this is an overview. Then we have the report, which show you things around adoption scores, then usage also of the tenants, then different organization messages. Then we talk about the health. We talk about the health as well. So the health is where you'll be able to see your service health as well as see the other things around product feedbacks, you can network connectivity, software updates. Now, if you go down, so those are the Microsoft 365 part of things. Now, by the time we go down, you'll be able to see other admin centers. So I mentioned this that based on the license and based on the subscription or based on the your role as a user in the tenant will determine what admin center you see. So because I'm a global administrator of this tenant, I'm able to see all the admin centers. In fact, if I even click on all admin centers here, it's going to show me every other admin center that are not currently pinned here, right? Like the Dynamics 365 apps is not pinned, the Microsoft Defender ATP is not pinned, Defender for Identity is not pinned, right? For me, Microsoft Office configurations, Power Apps, Power Automate. So I'll be able to see all the admin center because I'm a global admin and I have the license that has all these application as part of them. Right, so again, so this is going to show, I just selected show pin there, so any application that is pinned will actually show for me there. All right, so that is in about the overview of the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So in upcoming series, we'll be looking into each of these blades one after the other, starting from users, teams and groups, look at roles, resources, billing, the co-pilot, support, settings, the setup, and as well as reports and health before we now start looking into each of the other admin centers. So thank you so much for spending your time, your 40 minutes plus to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, if you're new to this channel, please, I want to encourage you to support this channel by subscribing. I'm trying to ensure that this channel gets about 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Please support the vision and also share these videos with others as well. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing us in the next video.